Hello, folks. This is Jeff Key. Now, we all know that Pat Robertson is a douchebag for everything that he said about Haiti. But, why did he say it? And he said it before. He said it about other things. And often in our everyday lives, a lot of us say it about people. I mean, we may not use God. We may use something else. But a lot of times there's the desire to blame the homeless man for being homeless. Desire to blame the crack addict for being a crack addict. Desire to blame the whore for being a whore. Yeah. There's a desire to blame people in really shitty situations for being in those really shitty situations. And sometimes it is their fault. You know, the actions we take have consequences in this world, and there's no denying that. But sometimes you're just dealt a really shitty hand. And sometimes you don't know how to deal with it. And sometimes you may make mistakes or worse of it, but you were still, in the end, dealt a really shitty hand in the beginning anyway. You know. But there's a desire to blame the victim, and where I think that comes from is our desire to have an explanation for the evil and suffering of the world. You know, I think this is part of what religion was created to do, was explain evil, explain suffering, explain pain, and why we have it, why we suffer it. But I think every argument, everything that we can state, I think it only serves to cheapen the event and end up blaming the victim for what happened to them. But I also think that the desire to have an explanation for these things a lot of times comes from the victim themselves. After a traumatic event, a lot of people often ask, why did this happen? Why? Why? And there's no real answer to that. Because there really isn't a why. Sometimes shitty things just happen. Sometimes you get cancer, and there's no reason. Sometimes you lose your house. It's not because of any mistake you made. It may have been that it burnt down in some freak accident. It may have been that in New Orleans it was flooded. It may have been that you were in an earthquake and it was destroyed. It's not your fault. There's really no reason behind it. It's just bad things sometimes happen. And there's no real good answer to the question of evil or suffering. And I think that often we wish there was, because we think we derive comfort from it. But Pat Robertson has a reason for the evil that the Haitian people are suffering. And he's a douchebag for having it. So honestly, there is no real explanation for why evil things happen, why pain and suffering happen. They just do. I hope everyone has a good night. Talk to you guys later.